It's my memoir. It's in 2 volumes. It's called My Father's Love. And yes, it is about the unpleasant subject of incest. It's a lot more than that. And it's the most incredible writing experience of my life, and everything has changed since I wrote it. I had, the day before I was raped, I was 7, and I met Gay, that was her name, G-A-E, and she was 6. And she saved my sanity as much as anybody and anything. And so the book, for years I wanted to write my Gay story, and then I would realize, no, I can't write that until I can write my father's story. And so that's sort of, so this is on meeting her, and so again, I'm 7, and this is Hollydale, Southgate, California. And my mother, she gets tuberculosis. I was struck by that about Audrey and Rich. Her father was an authority on tuberculosis. One evening, just before Mama left for the TB sanitarium, she cut a photo and article from the Huntington Park paper. The next day, I stood in front of my 2nd grade class for sharing, holding up the news photo and article, Southgate Hero, of a blonde policeman holding a man down with his foot, a gun to his head. Mr. Merrill Wayne Walker, almost killed in a shootout, was awarded for bravery and action beyond the call of duty. He's the father of the new family, I told my class, that's moving in across the street from us on Roosevelt Avenue. She appears in the fog. The word gay means, in the oldest meaning of it, is a place in the river one has to swim to cross. She appears in the fog across the new plugs of Dichondra. We stare at each other, the silver glass wall shimmering behind her, the rim of the white roof sparkling in the fog above her, fog in her beige hair, fog coming from beneath her eyes. I'll always see this, the fog there, steam in the grooves of her eyes. Bridget, my sister, and the little girl start chasing each other, giggling, but the big girl and I just stare across the foggy yard into each other like we're hypnotized. She'll always say she thought I was an Okie with my rag curls like a pickaninny, a little Negro girl. I feel the stupid rags of old bed sheets around my head. I feel the boxy Buster Browns encasing my feet. I feel the weight of everything, the fog stopping my shoulders to hide my breasts. What kind of freak am I that I have breasts at 7? But I'm looking at beauty, perfection and mystery, her face with fog across it, her face so taut, drawn and sad, yet like a river, a churning flow the color of milky fog. I can't talk. She will say I talked like a hillbilly. I will love her for being bold and honest. Across the lawn, through the watery air, the strangeness of her eyes connects with something deep inside me, a strangeness I will never let go of, a spell I'm still under. My heart breaks for love of this first sight of her, for gratitude that she exists. There's a river across her face, a river between us, a river to cross. I will be crossing the river forever. I love her. 2 black and brown big skinny dogs are barking their heads off from the back corners of the house. They're Doberman Pinschers, she says, police dogs. They're not pets. They're trained to kill. And this is after the rape, the next day. And I go to school, and I had a heart attack. My sister did too in the same room. We had heart attacks that night. But I got to school, and I'm stuttering, and I have hiccups, and I have hiccups for several years, chronic hiccups. Now I'm on the cot in the nurse's office, sweating, smelling just like the monster, blood and sweat and poop, that smell I first smelled when I was born. I have to get home somehow and get clean panties and another Kotex. Take a nap, she says. Thank you, dear Jesus. They can't find Daddy. Thank you for providing this safe haven to sleep. The bell rings. That new girl is at the door of the nurse's office, standing there in the hallway, all the kids streaming by. I can walk her home. I live on Roosevelt too, the same block. She lives at 5903 Roosevelt. I live at 5920. Oh yes, I assure the nurse, I can make it. I feel just fine. Thank you. In the bathroom, I stuff my dripping Tuesday panties with more tissue. My heart hurts to breathe. My legs are broken off from my hips. What's wrong with you? I'm just tired. I heard your mother has tuberculosis. She walks me past her house. She walks me up the porch of mine. Thank you. Let's skip that one. But I know that I want to, well, maybe. My mother says it's okay for you to come in. It's hard to approach her house, to go up the white cement driveway. The two Doberman police dogs, Adolf and Goebbels, in a chain link behind the backyard, have barking fits. If they get loose, they will kill you. She holds the door open. The fog in her eyes pulls me in. There's a river across the sand of her face. First thing, she teaches me to play the Marine anthem on the triangular-shaped piano standing in the bay window. It is upholstered, the entire thing, even the legs, in white leather. Just remember middle C. From the halls of Montezuma, her dark fingers on the keys, to the shores of Tripoli, her short tan fingers on top of my big whites, guiding them, her feet under mine, guiding them to the pedals. What are the halls of Montezuma? This is like Karen teaching me how to play the pedal slide steel guitar until her mother put a stop to that. A wooden triangle with a hand tick-tocks on top of the white piano. It's a metronome, she says. You play it in time to it. And a photograph of her father, framed in white leather too, with when he was a sailor in the war. Mr. Walker, blonde curls spilling out from his white cap, is so handsome and grinning so big he looks like a movie star. Blue Boy is on one side wall and Pink Girl is on the other. The Greeks saw the horse as an ocean wave, she says, pointing to a painting of horses in the ocean waves. Horse in Greek means wave. And there's another in the bathroom of Palominos, just their gold heads, their white manes blowing through clouds. The shower curtain is see-through glass with a big swan at the bottom. Returning down the hallway, I spy through the cracked door at the end a round bed in an all-white room, and in the round mirror over the white boudoir, a naked blonde woman lying on the floor. She has little beads of perspiration all over her brown body under a bright orange lamp. A high wild bush of black hair with her thighs join her hips is how I know her white hair is bleached. Don't worry about it, Gay Walker slams her hands down through the hallway air. My mother lies under the sun lamp naked all day to keep her tan. My father makes her do it. She looks fat when she's not tan. Her name is Dorothy. Dottie, her 3-year-old sister, is named for her. Mama makes a big deal about my being a natural blonde. Don't ever bleach your hair. You'll be a dime a dozen then. Mrs. Walker is only 23. My parents were both 16 when I was born. My father's 23 too. My mother was 21. She waited 3 years to have me, to make the perfect child. But now she's 29. 29 is so old. Even as a little girl, Mama knew she'd be dead now for a year. I can't take my eyes off this girl as she leads the way back outside. We navigate through the men in the bushes, over their broken liquor bottles, shards of glistening green and golden brown. She curses them. This takes my breath away. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I just pray to love them enough. I can get past the danger of them, but that she knows about them in the way I do is an incredible relief. A couple of more passages. They're from San Francisco. This is true. Couldn't wait to write. I read the whole book just to say this. This is coming down the street to visit her to her house. And the neighbor, Mrs. Ritchie, says, "They're from San Francisco. Does that tell you something?" Mrs. Ritchie is saying to Mrs. Pullman on the sidewalk as I skip by. Even though it was World War II, he got kicked out of the Navy. Something not right there. A queer, I bet. Oh, Gay says, it's just that my father was discharged from the Navy for being borderline insane. My parents are founding members of the Sexual Freedom League. My parents are proud they're not members of nothing. They worship the sun. They aren't ashamed of the body. They're naturalists. My father sleeps in the nude. He's not ashamed. It's his religion. Why do you stutter? I'm sorry. Why do you hiccup all the time? I'm trying not to. I'm going to read one. Let me find it, and then I'll end. Where is it? 92, I think. Gay is to me like Aaron is to Moses, and he shall be to thee instead of a mouth. I love her so much, she's more real than I am. I am her Mary Jane ragdoll, her negative, her mirror. I feel myself from within, but I see and therefore know her from without. She's more beautiful than anything on earth. The gold beige clouds that are really God move across her face, move in her hair like a movie, like a storm coming up. We meet in our meeting spot at sundown at the top of the Denny Clare Hole. For the place where thou standest is holy ground. I was a Bible scholar in the second grade. I won everything, the whole county, Los Angeles. I was trying to survive. We meet on our meeting spot at sundown on top of the Denny Clare Hole. For the place where thou standest is holy ground. The burning bush is not burnt, the Lord said to Moses. The burning bush that is not burnt, the Lord said to Moses. Moses is boy from Moselle, which is my aunt's name. Gay is a head shorter than me, but her face is God's, a face unbelievable to look into. I love you. I love you, she says back. I've brought the razor blade from Daddy's shaving kit. 1, 2, 3. We slice into the blue veins on our left wrists. The blue blood instantly bubbles up red. We mash our wrists together, rub them hard together. The stinging stops. We are ecstatically in each other's eyes. Your blood into me, my blood into you. We say this to each other, unto each other truly. Now we are blood sisters forever. Okay.